Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you all had a very nice Christmas, enjoyed time with the family or friends, hopefully you took a break from the market. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a post-Christmas update on ICP. And we're also going to be taking a quick look at Bitcoin because really Bitcoin's sort of leading the way right now in terms of direction that ICP and the rest of the altcoins are going to do. So I'm going to be doing technical analysis as of today. Going to be giving you my thoughts on what's going to happen next, and I'll give you some price targets both to the upside and the downside depending on what actually does unfold. So all that and more in this video. Before we get in, if you haven't already, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking the notification bell. It really does help me out, guys. This is a relatively new channel, so any engagements you can give me will really help people find me. All right, so let's get in. So we've got Bitcoin, we've got the chart of Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame. So let's just start with the basics here, right? So Bitcoin, if we're just starting from absolute basics, fresh new chart, we're in an uptrend, right? We are in a bull market. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We are above our EMA band on the weekly time frame. So we are in a bull market and nothing much has really changed there. So I think it is important sometimes to zoom out and just remember that, right? We are in a bull market. So the probability is higher upside until the trend actually does reverse. So for the moment, we are still in a bull market. That is unchanged. In the immediate short term, then, what we've sort of seen over the last couple of weeks, we have seen a new warning signal flash, guys, right? Which is more long term. We have seen a bearish divergence on the RSI on the weekly time frame form here. So we've got higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI. This signal is now confirmed with last week's candle close in the red. So this signal is now confirmed, and generally what happens here is this usually marks the top of the Bitcoin bull market. But the thing about it is, guys, is this can take weeks and months to actually play out. And quite often, whenever you see this bearish divergence form, that's like right before the actual mania phase where things really go crazy. So this is not a sell signal right now, but this is a warning saying that time is running out for the bull market. I would say probably 3 months from today, just because of this signal. But it is one of many signals, so we're not going to you're not going to take this to the bank. So it's not a sell everything signal, but it's a caution signal, meaning that in the next couple of months you could see a potential end to all of this, which is what it is. But in terms of what's going to happen next, then, right? So if we zoom in here and just look at our weekly candles, right? We made this high in November. We broke above with this bullish candle. We retested it, bullish. We got a bullish candle, bullish support. Again, we retested it again. We retested it again. So we retested it 3 times. Each time was looking good, but then we just wiped that out. We deviated right back down there, and now we're just hanging around here, which, guys, is actually quite negative price action, to be honest. Right? Really, with this level, because it's been tested so many times, like, I'm not so sure if it's actually going to hold this time. We might actually have to consider the possibility of some further downside before we actually turn it around here. But it all depends on how this candle for this week closes in 2 days' time. Okay, so below that, then, you've got basically the level I will be targeting. If we do lose this level here, basically I'll be looking at basically this range between 80,000 to 75,000. Because we've got a couple of confluences here. We've got our weekly EMA band here. We had a CME gap. Basically, we had a gap on the CME chart, and usually price does come and fill that gap. And as I said, you've got your EMA band as well with your prior highs here. So this, if price does eventually come down here, guys, I would be buying this up. Like, this is a monster level that I believe will hold. But if we zoom out to the daily, let's just see if that is likely. So let's just start with what we've got here in terms of price action again. You can see basically this has been the sort of December, November range we've been in, playing around with this level. And you see each time we've wicked down, we've bounced. But if you look now in the late December, each bounce is getting weaker, guys. Look, see the way we bounced here? Didn't really do anything. Bounced again, didn't really do anything. And now we are basically looking at breaking that level today, potentially. Right? So if we break this level, you've got one other level here at 85k, which might hold. It might hold. But really the major level here is between 80k and 75k that I'd be targeting from. And from today's price, guys, that would be potential downside of sort of 16 to 20%, which does happen in bull markets, and it isn't really the end of the world, but it's just something to pay attention to. And it's the reason why I do have a lot of cash on the side right now, just because of the price action we've been seeing. So we've also got our daily RSI in a downtrend here, making lower highs and lower lows. It's not really showing any sign of reversing here just yet in the immediate short term. And if we just bring up our EMA, I'm looking here at the EMA 50, which is the green, or sorry, the SMA 50, which is the green, and our SMA 200 here. So we are potentially losing, just today, we look like we are potentially losing this EMA 50, which is quite negative. You don't really want to see this, guys. So if we look at previous examples, so here's one in January, which is quite similar price action to what we're seeing now. We lost the EMA 50, and it basically meant another week of downside. All right, back to our previous level again. We lost here in April as well, and again, it meant a few more weeks of downside. So yeah, it's usually not a great signal when you see this. Now, the candle is not closed yet. It could change. It closes in 6 hours, so that is Friday night. So yeah, but it's, as it stands, that's not a great signal. We don't really want to see that. And again, it gives me more confidence in that. I think if we do close this candle the way it is right now, guys, I would honestly be looking at targeting 85k or 78 to sort of 75k as well. So just to summarize then, Bitcoin in the immediate short term, we're in a macro uptrend, a macro bull market, but in the immediate short term, i.e. the next days and weeks, we are looking rather bearish. That is until what would turn this around is if Bitcoin breaks above, if I just zoom to the 4-hour time frame, if Bitcoin breaks above this level here, that is 100k. Basically, we need to get above there, and we need to get above there soon. Until we get above 100k, downside is the most likely outcome. Just with the downslope in RSI, the fact that we're not really holding this support, and the fact that our RSI is also below our midline here. So all in all, in the immediate short term, I'm expecting more downside on BTC until we break above 100k. Once we break above 100k, that will be a lot nicer. So let's move on to ICP. So before we get into ICP, guys, just a quick reminder, if you are not already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. This whole channel is based around trying to help you using my experiences, both my wins and my losses in the market, to try and help you from experiencing those horrible feelings of losing your money. So please do consider hitting subscribe. You can always unsubscribe at another time if you so wish. So ICP on the weekly time frame, right? So what have we got here, right? So just zooming out again, we're in sort of no man's land right now, guys. We're in sort of this range, like we are essentially in an uptrend. We are above our EMA band on the weekly time frame, which is good. It is good, and we are holding above it right now. But really what we want to see here, we want to see it bounce here, guys, and we want to see it soon. Like the longer ICP spends hanging around this EMA band here, like it's not good. It's not good. Like if this candle can see a bounce here, like this week or next week, then that's absolutely fantastic. But the longer we hang around here, the more concerned I will get. So yeah, that's really the way it is there at the moment. Like for our RSI is looking good. We broke out of this downsloping trend line. We're now retesting our midline, which again is very bullish. The RSI itself looks perfect. It's just whether the price actually holds this level or not. But for the moment, it's holding it. So that is looking good. If we go down to the daily time frame, and I just remove this EMA band here. So yeah, guys, on the daily time frame, we've basically broken out of this previous range that had kept us for most of the summer and early autumn. We broke out and we're currently retesting it, right? So that is good that we're not falling below here. What we don't want to see, guys, we do not want to see ICP closing back down below $9. Basically, if you do see that, it would signify further downside. We're currently in this downtrend in sort of the last couple of weeks. So while ICP remains below this trend line, while our RSI remains below the midline, and while ICP remains below the 2-day EMA band, that basically means that further downside is the more probable outcome for ICP in the immediate short term. Now, that being said, just remember we are in a bull market, guys. On the weekly time frames, things are looking good, but you can have pullbacks, you can have short-term bearish trends within longer-term bullish trends, right? So just it's important to remember the time frames there. But yeah, for the immediate short term, guys, like really, I don't want to see ICP sort of closing back below $10 because it means that you're going to come down to probably $9. And the longer it stays below there, guys, it's not fantastic. So what would change this around is if we can see ICP break above $12. That's my level, right? So I know a couple of you didn't really like the fact that I had sold some ICP around here at around $11 or 10.80. And basically, I just did that, guys, because I'm trying to protect my capital here just in case. I'm bullish on this coin. I think it's going to do amazing things. I think it's going to go to $150 to $250. But in the immediate short term, we're below our EMA band and we're currently rejecting it on the 2-day time frame. What turns this around for me, if we see ICP close above this trend line, above our EMA band, and that's at approximately $12, that is a sign that the bulls are back in control, and I will get a full position on ICP if I see that happen. But for the moment, in the immediate short term, I'm sitting on the sidelines, keeping my cash close to my hands, just waiting to see whether this is going to break out or whether it's going to break down. Either way, though, in the long term, I'm bullish on ICP, but in the immediate short term, with Bitcoin and ICP together, they are looking, in the short term, they're looking like they're probably going to go further to the downside before turning around. But don't worry, I will keep you updated every step of the way. So I hope you did get some value from that video today. If you did, please do consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. It really helps me out, and I will speak to you in the next one. Bye-bye.